Now, ladies and gentlemen, after 5 months of a rocky, uncertain future, Valve may have just announced CS2's release date. Now you're probably asking, may have announced? The answer to that is yes. After a 1-month binge of daily updates, Valve started to release less and less, to the point right now where it's been a week since we've heard or seen anything. That was until last night. Valve just said clear your schedules, and most are implying this is related to CS2. This tweet definitely got some attention, and everyone's just really excited for this to be announced. Wednesday seems to be the day where everything gets revealed. We can even go back to Danger Zone in 2018. They had the exact same tweet implying it was going to release on a Wednesday. And here we are today with CS2 right around the corner, and hopefully this is it. Today's video, we have a lot to break down. I also want to discuss what this means for the game, but also the community. Now today's video sponsor is SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is a buying and trading marketplace for your CS items. It makes a safe and easy way to trade out your inventory for something new. By using my code MANDO, you can get a deposit bonus of 35% alongside a free $5 in your first trade, with a max bonus if you spend $100 or more. With a large variety of skins, deposit options, alongside daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways, they're doing a great job rivaling other competition. If interested, it'll be the top of the link in the description below. So Valve's Twitter has been pretty dry. No real updates or no real content in a few weeks, and if you count actual content, not just in CS2, but Global Offensive, the Paris sale hasn't been removed yet. It's the longest ever standing sale. We haven't gotten a case in well over 200 days, no operation in a couple years, and 9 hours ago, as of me recording this video, they had 4.5 million views on a tweet, 56,000 likes. What are you doing next Wednesday? And this was 9 hours ago. Now, I was MIA when this thing went live, but as soon as I saw it, I was pretty excited. Same with everyone else in the community. Now, as great as this is, people have questions and, well, are concerned, and I think you should be. Number one, I think you guys should take this with a grain of salt. I don't believe Valve is necessarily baiting us just for interactions online, because they could do this a whole lot more and could have done it over the years, but they didn't. Valve's not really the type of company to do that. They're not really held to a certain standard since they are privately owned, or they're on their own anyway. With everyone being excited, hoping, and thinking that CS2 is going to release next week, as much as this all makes sense and this releasing next week does make sense, we should come to terms that this could also not be a whole lot. This could be an operation. This could be just more of an open beta for CS2. And there are some arguments and reasons for that actually being the case. The first one being is CS2 is just simply not ready for a full launch yet. When you only have a handful of weapons that are actually useful and can actually get the job done in the game, cheaters are all over the place, tick rates are messed up, no new actual content, meaning cases or an operation releasing in over a year, there's a lot of work to be done. And also to mention, we still have also a handful of maps that need to be released. But that's the boring sad stuff out of the way. Let's get back to the juicy stuff. Gabe Follower alongside a bunch of other data miners are thinking the exact same way. He says right now, they have a perfect excuse for all the flaws the game has. Just gather all the feedback and release frequent updates to fix everything. I really hope they just do an open beta and a big update. Otherwise, let the Hunger Games begin. And while a lot of other people are saying the exact same thing and are a little bit concerned that the game would release in this state, some people are also mentioning that this could be Danger Zone, maybe something brand new we haven't seen yet going into CS2 while it's not fully released either. Now, XMercyCS brought this to the table. I suggest you go give him a follow. Great content creator for CS Twitter, breaks down a lot of different things in some very creative ways. So December 3rd of 2018, if this doesn't sound familiar, but well, this is when Danger Zone released. They said, what are you doing Wednesday? September 20th, 2023, just a few years later, what are you doing next Wednesday? So could this just be Danger Zone coming to CS2? Some actual CS devs retweeted this exact section. And going back to XMercyCS, if you need another reason to follow him, this is the reason why. He writes textbooks full of knowledge, scenarios, goes over data mines and leaks about CS, and this tweet just pretty much sums that up. So he wrote this, giving 3 different scenarios for what this tweet exactly means. Essentially, to break it down for you, it could be a new operation, case, some new cosmetics because we're years without them. Scenario 2, it could just be to get everything hyped up and pumped up for CS2's actual release. And scenario 3, which is very unlikely according to XMercyCS, that CS2 actually comes out. But this will come out with no new items, so old things will just get pumped. We haven't received any new cosmetics, so older skins are going to go up even more, kind of how they did back in March and April of 2023 when CS2 first got announced. But as much as the ultimate update would be an operation and CS2, we have to talk about the overstimulation and too much going on, because I do believe that's a real thing. Now, for as many of you who have played CS2, there's also a handful who haven't. For new people booting up the game, launching everything up with a bunch of new add-ons and additions, because we'll have the full game where you can open cases in the game, all the juicy stuff. And on top of that, if we had an operation, new collections, new maps, new things to learn, it's going to be very overwhelming for a lot of new but also older players. And we've seen this in many other AAA games that have released in recent years where there's just too much to do at launch, which that does sound like a good thing, but it's actually not, because the best parts of the game can't get explored and then people just pass and move on from them, when that content could be spread out over the course of a year or a few months in some sort of roadmap. Now, today's video was actually going to be something a little different. It was going to be about CS2's release, but talking about the state of the game. As we all know, there's been a heavy debate with tick rate and also cheaters, at least recently. Not that it's been a problem over the past few years or anything. I've seen a few people have this take on on Twitter, and I'm kind of agreeing with it. Now, myself, alongside a few other people, have an interesting take that I think could justify the reasons for this all happening. Kind of a bad game anyway. CS2 is letting cheaters come into the game, making things, well, not too fun. The tick rate also not being great. The big reason for that is so Valve can test everything out, know what people are doing to exploit services, exploit the game, what cheats people are using, so they can either go after them or essentially block it with an anti-cheat. Because there is a new anti-cheat that's called VAC Live, where people get banned live, but it hasn't really been working, and the new sub-tick system, in theory and on paper, is supposed to be better than 128, but it just comes down to your connection. This commentary was all over the place. To close things off for today's video, things could really go either way, and I suggest you guys take things with a grain of salt. If we look at the most recent trailers, and all of them combined, they all say summer of 2023. The major is in March for Copenhagen 2024, so teams and players need to get practicing. This could all be a big troll, an operation, a half semi-release of CS2, or we could just get everything. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Let me know what you guys think down below. Be very careful if you're going to be investing into the market, because I do believe we're probably going to see something very similar to what we saw in April, so just know what you're doing and don't invest and spend what you can't afford to lose. Stay positive, stay sexy. I'm out, guys. Peace.